Thrive Energy Cookbook, here it is, 150 recipes for you with the plant-based diet. Brendan Brazier is the man behind this initiative, and hey, your PR people reached out because I was literally at Urban Fair one day, checked out the Vega product, and then we talked about this idea of clean eating. Yeah. Clean eating 101, define this because it's different for people with specific diets.
Right, so it's really choosing to eat foods that are basic and simple and minimally processed. So lots of fruit, lots of vegetables, lots of simple, easy to digest foods, quinoa, buckwheat, amaranth, things like hemp are great, chia, just simple and clean, just not a lot of extra stuff added.
And when we talk about the idea, and you do this in this book, of a plant-based diet, removing the meat in our daily meals, how difficult is it to make that transition? Because it can be overwhelming with that craving.
Yeah, it can, and I usually suggest adding as opposed to subtracting. So adding in good new foods that you like, the things I just mentioned, and making a smoothie, things like that that are going to taste good and be easy to get into it. And also psychologically, I think it's good to think that you get to add new things as opposed to remove things that maybe aren't so good, and before you know it, you just crowd out the things that aren't so good. You
champion the idea of starting small in your book, and I know you're a former Ironman, ultra marathon. You've done this, and you've spoken to the benefits of the recovery factor. When we're talking about a plant-based diet, health-wise for athletes, what is the true difference for the recovery?
It's pretty significant. So if you can spend less energy digesting food while taking in more nutrition, so less energy out, more nutrition in, that's a huge advantage because then your body can use its energy to rebuild and repair muscle as opposed to digest food. So that's big. Also, eating more leafy greens, for example, they're chlorophyll rich. That's what that dark green pigment is, chlorophyll. That reduces inflammation, which means you increase your range of motion, you reduce your risk of injury, and you increase your efficiency. You're not as inflamed, so you move more easily with less energy expended, and that's a huge advantage.
And what's your go-to? We've got the juicer or the blender here for the smoothies. Juices or smoothies? Which way do you go?
I personally go with smoothies because you keep the fiber in, so you keep everything. Obviously, juice, you remove a bunch of stuff, whereas blending, you keep it all in.
Okay, so. And the ingredients in here, I'm going to pour these 2 glasses because you were championing the idea of starting the day with the smoothie.
Right.
What went into this one?
So this one here, we got Vega 1, with protein, essential fats, fiber, greens. It's a recipe from the book. There's vanilla in there, which makes it taste really good.
Yeah.
There you go, thanks.
Pour the second one, yeah.
And there's actually raw chocolate in there too, which is high in antioxidants. It tastes good too. There's dates, which gives it glucose, which is a simple sugar, so you get energy right away. It's sweet, but you don't get that spike and that crash because there's protein, essential fats, and fiber from the Vega, so it's stabilized.
And how do you get the protein with the plant-based diet?
It's actually a lot easier than you might think. So things like hemp, flax, chia, pea protein, rice protein, even greens are 45% protein, so spinach and kale. If you eat a big enough salad, you're getting a lot of protein. Some algae like spirulina and chlorella are 65% protein. So, if you do add some of these things in, you do get quite a lot of protein. And
starting the habits at an early age, you got into this when you're 15 years old. A lot of great ideas in this book. Thrive Energy Cookbook, again, is the name. ThriveForward.com is the website for this man. Yeah, you're championing a new lifestyle. So cheers to the green smoothie. Also, cheers to the green smoothie. Yes. And Joe, we got extras for you too.
Better.
Yeah. Jody likes her smoothies.